Hello once again to the Omega Knight Show. Once again presents Yu-Gi-Oh! Super Budget decks. Like I said before in other videos, these decks consist of cards where every card is under $3 or way lower. But today we're going to be talking about Calculator. I made this deck right here is basically a super fun deck. It's probably not going to win you a lot of tournaments, but when it does win, it's going to be great. So without further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, I want to explain what Calculator does. All right, and then I'm gonna show you the best deck to put Calculator in. Alright, so without further ado, again, because like I said, this deck profile is just going to be a little bit different from all my other ones, because this is really just a super fun deck, but it's super fun when you win, and it's a really good OTK deck if you can get it to pop off very quickly. So first and foremost, I'm going to explain these three beautiful cards right here, known as the Calculator. Alright, it's a light level 2 thunder effect monster that has question mark for attack and 0 defense. Now, Calculator's effect, for those who don't know, is that the combined levels of all monsters on the field that have levels, this card gains times 300. So basically, if you have him plus a level 8, that's 10 star levels on the field. He's a 3,000 attack beater. Okay? So, for those who haven't guessed it, the best deck to play with Calculator is, drumroll please, Flower Cardigans. Now, as you can see, this is a 12-star monster. Okay, it's a dark 12-star monster known as Flower Cardian Paulownia. Okay. Like I said before, with all my videos, the cards' names and their prices, the whole deck list and their prices based on TCG Player will be in the description below. Okay. Now, this deck profile, like I said before, is going to be different because I'm not going to sit here and explain all these effects, except for one big effect. And that one big effect is that you can special summon these cards as long as you have a particular level or lower of the Flower Guardian cards. Okay? So, for, like I said before, I run 3 Flower Cardian Paulownias. I run one Flower Cardian Paulownia with Phoenix. I run 3 Flower Cardian Pine, which is the level 1, and this is your starter card along with Calculator, if you know what I'm saying, to get them off. This is your starter card to start the whole thing off. Okay, I run 1 Flower Cardian Pine with Crane. Then I run 3 Flower Cardian Willows, which is level 11. Okay. Then I run 3 Flower Cardian Widows with Caterpillar. Once again, 11. Then I run 2 Flower Cardian Zebra Grasses, which are your 8s, and 2 Flower Card Zebra Grasses with Moon as my main deck. Now, as I said before, because of the sheer fact that the Calculator has the ability to gain attack based on the level of the cards on the field. And Flower Cardians have the ability to special summon themselves based on you having a lower level Flower Cardian on the field, or special summon themselves by removing their counterparts, as you can see with, once again, with Pavlova and Pavlova with Phoenix, or Zebragrass with Moon. That's basically what they do. Their other effect is you can use it. It helps you. It facilitates. But like I said before, this deck is a speed OTK due to the fact that you can basically special summon almost all the cards in your deck that from your hand, or a couple of these come from the graveyard and a couple come from the deck, to make Calculator be a one-turn kill on your opponent. So that's really the real difference in this deck profile. You don't really need to know anything about the effects unless, once again, because this is more of a fun deck than a tournament deck, you really need to know that when you're playing this deck in tournaments, that all you really want to do is get Calculator and Pine on the field as fast as possible, and then start going off with all the effects, getting these big monsters on the field to turn Calculator into a one-hit kill, even with most monsters. Because just for the sake of argument, I want to put a lot of this into perspective for people watching this video, and why this is really just a fun deck to have on the field, at your local tournaments. Because if you're able to get 3 of these on the field, if you're able to get a field like this, okay, you're looking at a whopping amount of damage that is just ridiculous in the long run. Just super, super ridiculous. And the ridiculousness of it is the fact of that you can get him to 14,700 points of damage. There's not many cards that exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! That will be able to stop that kind of damage from flying into somebody's face. That's what makes this deck so much fun when you get the OTK off. It makes it super fun. Because like I said before, he can really take down anything. Now, that was all the monster cards. Now, to facilitate making sure that you have the ability to do all of that and cause more shenanigans, we're going to now go into the traps of this deck. Now, first and foremost, I run 2 Ceasefires. Like I said before, Ceasefire is another one of my favorite staples that I like to reiterate in all my things. This is one of my favorite staples because basically what it does is, if you activate this card, your opponent burns 500 for every monster on the field. So now, because we have the 2 extra monster zones, where it used to be 5,000, now it's 6,000 that you can do in one turn. And like I said before, with the potential of getting 14 3,700 points of damage with Calculator and another potential of 6,000 with this, believe me, you can end your opponent in one turn, no problem. Next, I played 2 Threatening Roars, which once again is basically to make sure that you can keep your Calculator on the field at least from getting destroyed by battle. I run 2 Trap Stuns. This is once again to facilitate your monsters not being stopped by counter traps for the turn. Once again, I always advise you activate this during your draw phase. As soon as your draw phase hits, you activate this. That stops everything from the turn, and you can literally go off after that. Once again, I run 2 Wabokus. Basically, same thing, can't be destroyed by battle, plus you don't take any battle damage involved. So, once again, another good card to facilitate that OTK. That sweet, sweet OTK. Once again, Bait Doll. I say this in every video. Best card ever. Force activates. Trap cards. Shuffles back in the deck. Makes your opponent pay cost of counter traps. So that once again, especially those counter traps that cost life points, it helps you facilitate an OTK even faster. Now, we're gonna get into a couple of the really good cards, because I know a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, this deck, even though it's cool, it's kind of slow. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but that is not true. And here goes some of the reasons why. First thing is I play 3 Flower Gathering. Okay? And what Flower Gathering does is, Flower Gathering is a normal spell card that basically says special summon 4 Flower Guardian monsters with 100 attack and different names from your deck in attack position, but have all their effects negated. Remember why I said in the beginning, this is the reason why I'm not going to explain their effects. Also, they cannot be tributed for tribute summon, and you can only activate 1 Flower Gathering per turn. You cannot normal summon or special summon other monsters during the turn you activate this card except Flower Guardian. This is the reason why this is the reason why I have Trap Stuns. This is the reason why I have Wabokus. This is the reason why I have Threatening Roars. Also, one of the bigger reasons why I have Ceasefire. As you can see, activating one of these cards, that puts exactly 4 of those big monsters on the field with different names. So you have, like I said before, the potential to turn 2 to just OTK your opponent. Alright. Next, I run 3 Flower Stackings. Alright. Flower Stacking basically says choose 3 Flower Guardian monsters with different names from your deck. Place them on the top of your deck in any order. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from graveyard. Target 1 Flower card monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use the Flower Stacking once per turn. Okay? Once again, because of the way their effects work, there's some special summoning involved. This card really is to facilitate 2 big things. 1, getting them back from the graveyard, and 2, making their effects work better. Okay? But you really, really, really want to get Flower Gathering first, because you can start your OTK a lot quicker. Then I run 2 MST, self-explanatory, more back row hate, because it destroys 1 trap card or magic card that's on the field. Then I play 2 Reincarnations, and what they do is target 1 Flower Guardian monster from the graveyard, add it to your hand. Then you can special summon 1 Flower Guardian monster from your hand, ignoring its summon conditions. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a Flower Guardian's monster effect, you can activate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can add 1 activated spell or trap card from your hand. Place the remaining cards on the top of your deck in any order. Basically what this is once again, stuff goes down, you be able to get to your flower gathering really quickly, or you know what I'm saying. And that's really what you're trying to do. Like I said, this is just to help facilitate getting to your OTK quicker. And last but not least, 2 twisters. And twisters, basically what they do, pay 500 life points, and you get to destroy 1 face-up magic or trap card. Basically just more ways of back row hate. And that concludes the deck. Now, like I said before, the names of all the monsters and their effects, you can go and find online if you really want to get more technical with the deck. But this deck basically is like super autopilot, because all you're trying to do is get Calculator on the field with 4 of these monsters. So you can literally just trample 1 monster on the field, or just a direct attack and win game, rinse, and repeat. Alright. Now the extra deck, once again, helps facilitate that more. So I'm going to get into it. So now I run, in the extra deck, I run 3 Flower Cardians Pony with Butterfly. I run, which is my level 6. I run the level 10, which is Flower Cardian with Maple with Deer. Then I run another cool card that if you can get off is really good, which is I run Greed Quasar. Now Greed Quasar, I'm explaining this effect too, because he basically functions like Calculator 2. The only real reason why he's not also in the deck is because, as you can see, he is a 7-star, which means you have to put 2 tributes in him. And because you have to put 2 tributes in him, I kind of relegated him to the side deck. So that is kind of what is going on with him. But he is a dark 7-star fiend monster with question mark for attack and question mark for defense. And his effect reads that this card's original attack and defense are each equal to the level times 300, equal to its level times 300. This card level increases by the level of the monsters it destroys by battle. The other reason why this card is good is, just like I said before, you can literally have this card and Calculator on the field. Excuse me. This card starts off at 2100 attack. As soon as it starts destroying big starred monsters, not only does its level increase, its attack and defense increase, and in doing so, makes Calculator more stronger and makes it once again more easier for the OTK. Next, I run 2 Tragodia, and Tragodia once again is a dark. Is another card just like Quasar. It is excuse me. It is another 10-star in the deck. It's another fiend, and once again, its attack and defense are both question marks. And its effect, it says, when you take battle damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. It gains 600 attack and defense for each card in your hand. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with the same level and same level as the sent monster had in the hand. Take control of that face-up monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard. This card's level becomes the same level that monster's to the end phase. So basically, the reason why I run this once again in the side deck is not only can I grab big monsters from my opponent, big special summon monsters from my opponent, I can also once again bump him up to about 2 more levels if I use the 12-star, the 12 or the 11-star Flower Cardian. All right, that's that. that's that for the monsters in the side deck. So now I'm going to get into the traps, which there's only 3, which is Metal Reflect Slime. And once again, what Metal Reflect Slime basically is, activate this card, you get a 10-star token on the field. AKA, once again, more damage for your calculator. Alright? And then last but not least is the magic cards. Is one of my favorites is Galaxy's Queen Light. What Galaxy Queen Light does is, I don't know if I want to put it in the main deck. I'm still debating. That's why it's in the side deck. If I put it in the main deck, I'm definitely going to use it to get rid of Reincarnation. I'm definitely going to use it to get rid of that. Because basically what this card does is you target one level 7 or higher monster on the field, and then all monsters gain that level. So you have the potential, if you once again at least get 112 plus this, you turn them all 12s including calculator, and I shouldn't even have to calculate the damage that calculator is going to be doing after that, because it's going to be a smooth extra 3,000, especially with him. It's going to be probably another smooth extra 300. You know what I'm saying? Another 3,300 points of damage, which is going to turn the 14,700 damage into 1,800 points of damage. There's not really much in the card game that's going to stop that. So like I said, that's why it's in the extra deck. Like I said, comment down below if I should actually put this in the main deck. If you actually think this is worthy to be put in the main deck, comment down below and let me know. All right. Last but not least, is basically the extra deck. The extra deck really is. I'm not really gonna go into everything, because just like I said before, you're rarely gonna use the extra deck, but it's just there. So if you need any extra stuff, I play one Colossal Fighter basically because this whole deck, except for your calculators, is warriors. So there's that. I play 3 Cardian Butterflies. And Butterfly, like I said before, he's a level 6. It's not really, it's just there. The one that you really want to look at is, you want to get him, which is Flower Cardian Light Shower. And what Flower Cardian Light Shower does, he's a 3,000 attack beater, and basically with his effect, he has the ability to stop some shenanigans that you want to deal with. And the biggest shenanigan is that is this. And basically this is how he works. He's a dark 8-star, which once again can make calculator beat 3,000 with him, so that's 6,000 points of damage. And that he's a tuner. He needs 1 tuner and 3 or more non-tuners, which once again you can go online for the effects of the Flower Cardians. And basically what his effect is, that your opponent cannot target Flower Cardian monsters you control with card effects. Also, those monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. During your opponent's draw phase, if they draw cards for their normal draw, inflict 1,500 points of damage to your opponent. Once per turn during your opponent's end phase, activate one of these effects. Skip the draw phase of your next turn. This card has its other effects negated until your opponent's next standby phase. Now, basically what you do is you like I said, you skip your draw phase. I always say that about this card, just skip your draw phase, because your opponent's burning for 1,000. You're going to have calculator on the field. you're going to have other big monsters on the field that you can facilitate with Calculator. That's the reason why I run 3 of him, because if you really want to use something in the extra deck, is this to start burning your opponent. Next after that, I run 3 Flower Cardian Lightsabers, or Light Flare, my bad, Light Flare, excuse me. And that's because he's another level 10. He has 5,000 attack, as you can see, which once again is really good. Also, his effect is that once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. If a Flower Cardian monster you control battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster has its effect negated to the end of the battle phase only. If this face-up Synchro monster card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while in its owner's control, you can special summon 1 Flower Cardian Synchro monster from your extra deck. AKA, make this. If it dies, get that. More or less. Next after that, I run 3 Flower Cardian Moonflower Reviewer. I guess that's how you say it. Excuse me, I'm a little parched. And basically what her effect once again is not really that important. She's just another target for the 10-star, or the fact of, just like I said before, you probably won't use her, but once again, she's a Flower Cardian, so she has a lot of good effects and synergies. And last but not least is Iso, the 2 tails of the Noble Knights. Now this, once again, is self-explanatory. It's really there to facilitate getting you some warriors, for, getting you some of the low-level warriors out of the card to speed up any combos. And if you, once again, want to play with the extra deck, it's really for that more than anything else. You're probably not going to summon it. I just, like I said before, have it to facilitate the Flower Cardian combos is really what it's there for, other than that. But if you don't know the effect, I'll let you know. Here it goes. It's a light rank 2 with both arrows pointing down, as you can see. It's a warrior link monster with 1600 attack. It's effect that it needs 2 warriors, and since, like I said, everything in this deck is warriors except for the Calculator. And it says if this card is link summoned, you could add 1 warrior monster from your deck to your hand. Don't matter what level, as you can see. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot normal summon, set, or special summon monsters with that name, nor activate their effects. You can send any number of equipped spell cards with different names from the deck, which there's none in here. You can special summon 1 warrior from the deck whose level equal the number of cards you sent to the graveyard. I don't have any in this deck because this card is really only for the first effect, is to get that extra card in your hand to facilitate your next turn. And once again, to get rid of some of the lower level warriors in the deck, like Pine. That's really what this is for, is to really get rid of Pine off the field. So like I said before, the effects of the Cardian, the Flower Cardians are on the are on multiple websites. Yu-Gi-Oh, Wikia, what I'm saying, Konami's website, plenty of places you can go to find the effects of them, because in my opinion, a lot of their effects, yes, they're cool, but when you're playing this deck 100%, you are trying to get this guy beefy and smack your opponent, and in the duel, you're not really trying to do a lot of shenanigans. What I'm saying? You're literally trying to make sure they don't have no back row, and you're just trying to smack into whatever they have. Like I said before, if you guys have any cards, once again, that are under $3 that might be able to speed this deck up a little bit, please let me know now down in the comments below. If you like what I'm doing, once again, my Patreon link is in the description below too. Along with, like I said before, my producer's link. If you need any art for your thumbnails, if you need any art, period, she's got you. So like I said, her description. My son also does art and video game designs, and his thing is in the description below too. So like I said before, if you need any help there. Also, if you need any advice on YouTube, anything like that, like I said, my wife's link is down there at the bottom too. That's what she does, and she does a whole bunch of other stuff that, once again, it's too much to explain. Like I said before, if you really need her help, just hit that link. And like I said before, this deck, you will have a lot of fun with it once you start getting all the combos going. So like I said before, like, share, subscribe, anything you think is really cool to add to this deck, put it in the comment section below. And once again, Omega Knights don't start fights, but we damn sure finish them. And you guys have a blessed day.